everyone. I'm Symphony Privet. Thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with uplifting stories across the country. A behavioral intervention teacher in San Diego is making a difference in her students' lives, even if they describe it as cringe. Here's Jeff Zevely with her story.
For Brandy Morrison, teaching is much more than a career. It's a choice to shape lives.
All right, thumbs up or thumbs down. An argument can happen when people have different opinions.
Brandy Morrison teaches a behavior intervention class.
Talking calmly can help solve the argument.
Students are in this class trying to learn the skills needed to go back to general education.
It has its challenges, but it also has its successes.
Brandy, who goes by Miss M, will do almost anything to break through to her kids.
And I'll do silly dance moves that they're learning on TikTok, or I know 6'7" was a big thing.
In behavior intervention, challenges can be immense, and helps. How would you describe Miss M?
Fun.
Miss M, describe her for me.
Cringe sometimes.
Cringe sometimes? Oh, wow. Joseph Reynolds called Miss M cringe, and he wasn't alone.
Well, just like Joseph said, definitely cringe.
11-year-old Jacob Reeder offered an explanation.
Very trying to be funny, but it just like brain rot and stuff.
Miss M tries to be funny as a way of steering students away from misconduct.
She has the patience of a saint.
Crystal Martinez, assistant principal at W.D. Hall Elementary, says with behavior intervention, you need a classroom hero.
Miss M shows up every day, no matter what is going on, with a smile and just ready to tackle that day.
Some teachers can't wait to see a struggling student move on, but Miss M enjoys teaching the same students for years.
The kids are amazing. You can't help but care. You just want to do everything you can to make sure that they have what they need to be successful.
Miss M calls her classroom a sanctuary of safety where students can be honest, even about the award their special teacher is about to win.
One of the best teachers in San Diego. I wouldn't say go that far, but she is a good teacher.
A good teacher. That sounds like a compliment.
I'll take it.
They say cringe, but I think they're trying to say connection.
Probably.
Miss M says students can call her whatever they want, as long as she's making a difference.
I will be your cringiest teacher, but they'll remember me.
That was Jeff Zevely reporting from San Diego. Kids of all abilities have a new place to play, and one city in Arkansas, Carter Threet, shows us how a community initiative made it all happen.
I'd like to introduce you to the son of Pinky Berryhill, and that's Mr. David Berryhill.
It's a one-of-a-kind experience watching an entire community come together at a park named for your dad.
I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the role that our mother played in all of this.
And it was an exciting day, a grand opening for a new all-inclusive park and splash pad at Berryhill Park. But for the city of Searcy, the day represents much more than just one park.
There's a lot, and they're all being developed right now.
It all started in 2024 when city voters approved the My Searcy initiative. The plan funds 6 projects, and yes, the Berryhill improvements were on the list, but so were improvements to Riverside Park, a new community center, an outdoor water park, new baseball fields, and more.
The entire project itself will be about a year from now as well. So pretty much like this time next year, it'll all be done and open.
So more grand openings are in the city's future, many more. But this first milestone still marks a big moment for Searcy. The kids were excited too, which is why they got to cut the ribbon.
3, 2, 1, 0!
And as this park thrives, it'll bear the name of Berryhill, a former resident who transformed the land from a cow pasture into a home for Little League Baseball. His son says Thursday's excitement and the city's growth would have made his father proud.
And I know Dad would be thrilled. He certainly didn't envision all of this, but he just wanted to be able to provide recreational activities for the youth.
In Searcy, Carter Thweet.
A century of skating, Family and community is being celebrated in Pennsylvania. La Rose's skating rink is marking 100 years in business, and Valeria Quinones shows us how the celebration is also giving back. Take a look.
It all began in the home of one Lehighton family 100 years ago, when the parents of Morris La Rose chose to buy a skating rink. That's the story Morris's granddaughter, Lori Everett, knows about the start of the family-run business, La Rose's skating rink in Carbon County.
The rink was started by my great-grandparents, and it started out as a porch, an open pavilion. From that, they enclosed it, put in walls, and this is what we have 100 years later.
Joshua Eckhart is the current owner of the rink, son of Everett and a fifth-generation La Rose. This celebration marks a century of memories that have been made right alongside the rink.
All the generations that ran it, it's still in the business, it's still going, and it's going strong. We lots of birthday parties are done here. A lot of memories are made here.
Apart from celebrating this milestone, Eckhart chose to donate the proceeds to an organization close to his heart, Dylan and Gavin's Rainbow, a nonprofit ministry with a mission to help families with sick children or those dealing with the loss of a child. The nonprofit was founded in honor of Lehighton brothers Dylan and Gavin Crum, who grew up coming to the rink, but both passed away of cancer just 2 years apart in 2010 and 2012.
We used to bring our boys out here for their skating parties. They had skating birthday parties, so they both came here for skating birthday parties.
The La Rose family says they hope to keep the rink running so families could make 100 more years of memories. Valeria Quinones.
People living at one senior facility in Idaho are now feeling the wind in their hair thanks to what's being called the Blessing Bike. One man is determined to get out and give back to seniors. Here's Maggie O'Mara.
Carol Montgomery spotted this bike in the lobby of Table Rock Senior Living at Barber Station.
I love riding a bike.
She has missed riding a bike, and she couldn't wait to get buckled in. This is a Blessing Bike, a bike brought to life and to Idaho by Wade and Jill Hauser of Boise back in 2018. They were inspired to build the bike by Jill's 92-year-old mom, Rosemary, and that turned into a nonprofit, providing hundreds of bikes to people who can't ride on their own.
Maggie, Maggie, give me your answer true, but you look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two.
When Carol saw the bike, it brought back lots of wonderful memories.
I know I'll love it because I love bikes.
Carol has biked all over the country.
Well, she's been an amazing cyclist, like all of her adult life.
Oh yeah, yeah. And we'd all go out bicycling, ride the Rockies, 10 times. That's called Colorado ride. We've ridden the coast of Oregon and Florida.
Joel Freston is the facility's executive director.
Well, I'm responsible for the health and welfare and safety of all the residents that live here, but also sometimes I'm just mopping the floor, so I kind of do a little bit of everything.
Ready? Turn around.
He's also the guy who makes these Blessing Bike rides happen.
Sometimes we'll just take it out and put it in the lobby like we have now, and they'll come and ask me, are we ready? Can we do it today? That kind of thing. We have regulars that use it, so to speak.
It's fun. How about ride every day?
Yeah, well, we should ride it every day.
He'll even take residents for a ride around the building, and that's certainly a bonus when it's cold out. He did that with Carol, too.
You don't see that every day, but it's a lot of fun.
If you ask Joel, the outdoor rides are the best. The location in southeast Boise cannot be beat.
Here at Barber Station, we have a lot of residents with limited mobility.
Ding ding.
There you go.
Thank you.
And we're right here by the river and the greenbelt. They hop on and we go around the river.
The residents love every minute of it.
Oh, smiles, points, do you see that bird, do you see the river? I know that by taking them out, I'm just making their day. It brings a lot of meaning to the work that I do from day to day. It takes me out of the grind and into the real feeling that our residents have and the joy that we can bring them.
For Carol's daughter, this means the world.
It's thrilling to me to know that she has this option. Joel's a special person.
So, does Carol think she'll be one of Joel's bike ride regulars?
Yes, I do.
Joel doesn't have to do this, but he loves to do it, and he has no plans to stop.
Oh, it's an honor, you know, and just to see the smiles and stuff, it just makes my day and makes their day, and everyone wins.
Was it fun, Mom? Well, it's lots of fun.
It means everything. It means everything.
That was Maggie O'Mara reporting from Idaho. One woman is turning her own early struggles into something powerful. How she is changing the lives of hundreds of students. And the ancient art of taiko drumming. It is thriving in Minnesota. We'll show you how one woman is connecting with her culture and keeping traditions alive. A woman whose own childhood was marked by instability and barriers is changing the future for hundreds of students in Buffalo, New York. Melissa Holmes shares more about the legacy she's built and the lives she's helping transform.
I'm Elena. I want to become an anesthesiologist. My name is Japa, and I want to be a neuroscientist. My name is Tupa, and I want to be on the Supreme Court.
Those dreams are being nurtured inside Buffalo Prep, an academic enrichment program helping low and moderate income students overcome barriers to education and change the trajectory of their lives.
Students come to us after school all day on Saturdays, all summer to get ahead in their academics, to have that educational equity and the same opportunities that, my children were afforded.
Patty Stephen has led the organization for nearly a decade.
We know that by providing opportunities and access to quality education, our scholars can do anything. They don't need to become smarter. They are brilliant, and so that's why we believe all we're doing is illuminating brilliance.
The results speak for themselves. 100% of Buffalo Prep scholars graduate high school, and 84% earn their bachelor's degree on time or are on track to do so, far outpacing national averages. But Patty's passion for this work comes from her own story.
I did grow up in foster care in the Erie County foster care system.
She says as a teen, she faced homelessness and moved between 5 high schools.
And so I really didn't have the opportunity to be a good student. And so I ultimately ended up graduating with my GED when I was pregnant with my first son from Bennett Night School.
Now she uses those experiences to connect with scholars facing their own challenges.
You're going to do amazing. When I think about my educational journey, I think it's just from so many amazing people always supporting me, and I just try to be that for other people now any way that I can.
And students say she does exactly that.
She's very sweet, she's kind, she's my favorite.
She will drop anything that she's doing to really be there for you.
Every great organization is a reflection of their leader, and Buffalo Prep has been successful because of Patty Stephen.
This summer, Patty will step down as executive director, handing the role to David Johnson, who says he hopes to continue her mission of breaking down systemic barriers through education.
And to continue to inspire our youngers to see endless possibilities.
David and the scholars and their families credit Patty Stephen with changing lives, but she sees it differently.
I feel really grateful more than I feel like I made an impact. I feel really grateful for the impact that Prep has had on me.
That was Melissa Holmes reporting from Buffalo. A wine barrel drum. That is how people took a Japanese tradition and made it more accessible to more people. The body of a traditional Japanese drum used to take 5 to 7 years to make because it was made out of one solid piece of wood, and that would take years to dry out. Well, in North America, people found out that you could do it faster and cheaper with the wine barrel. Jessica Hart introduces us to taiko.
In this studio,
The beat is loud, but it's also good for the soul.
And it's high energy. It's just a lot of fun.
Jennifer Weir is the executive director at Taiko Arts Midwest.
I do think there's something literally about the vibrations of the drums that are good for you.
Taiko is the Japanese word for drum.
A combination of drumming, music, dance.
And dates back thousands of years.
After World War II, it evolved from the shrines and festivals, and it moved to the stage. And when that happened, that sort of kicked open a whole new sort of world of Taiko.
Jennifer grew up as a Korean adoptee in North Dakota and didn't start to explore her Asian roots until her 20s. Taiko helped her discover what drives her.
It unlocked a superpower I didn't know I had. And so in that way I can stand up and just kind of tap into something primal, something beautiful, and something that is at its core Asian.
It's definitely a high, and it's something that you don't get in everyday life.
Megan Chow Smith found peace through beating drumsticks.
There's something so reassuring about being able to be so powerful and being part of a group.
The cultural connection strengthened by a group beating as one.
There's no Taiko without community.
A community creating a beat that nourishes the soul. In St. Paul, Jessica Hart.
That looks so cool, and I'm glad that she's found a way to share her culture with everyone else there in the community. All right, still ahead, right after this break, a solemn reminder of the price of freedom, how one Texas veteran is on a mission to remember the fallen. Also ahead, after 41 years, a beloved grandmother at a Virginia college is saying goodbye. How dozens of her former students traveled across the country to celebrate the woman who changed their lives. Welcome back. In one Texas cemetery, Taps is played every Friday to honor fallen members of the U.S. military. Barry Davis introduces us to the man behind the trumpet.
For almost 160 years, Bernie Cemetery has been a quiet, solemn place where people come to say their final goodbye. As life rushes past its gates, inside time slows. Life has stopped. The only sound, the wind, or birds gently chirping, and the occasional car passing by, until Friday at noon. Those three notes will snap most any service member or veteran to attention.
Maybe it's because we all know what it's for.
Jim Manzo knows, perhaps more than anyone. He's been playing that tune for decades.
Well, the first time I played taps was at West Point.
You see, Manzo spent most of his life as a musician, playing in and directing Army bands. But he says the toughest thing he's ever played are the 24 notes in taps.
So I learned back then, as soon as the third volley was fired, I played the first note and held it until present arms, and then I continued, because I didn't have to hear the crying. As a player, it almost makes me cry.
His audience now is deployed throughout this small cemetery, the final resting place for soldiers, airmen, sailors, and Marines.
I look at taps as it's such an honor, because you're really saying thank you and you are saying the last goodbye. It was a great feeling for me. And so I do it every week, and I feel good when I leave.
Every Friday for the past 5 years, Manzo has played for his brothers in arms.
Honestly, I feel they hear it. I do.
Regardless of the weather,
beautiful, beautiful day.
Jim Manzo is here.
If it's cold, it's cold. If it's raining, no matter what, the weather won't affect it. Won't affect me anyway.
What will affect him, as it does all of us, is time. He knows the clock is ticking, and one day those notes will sound for him.
It's an honor to come out here and play. I hope when it's my turn that they send someone in with a real bugle or trumpet.
Until then, he'll continue to play, offering that strong and sincere thank you.
God willing, I'll be doing it for a long time.
In Boerne, Barry Davis.
All right, coming up next on Featured this morning, a half marathon on his own terms. We'll tell you how an 8th grader didn't let a diagnosis stop him from reaching the finish line. And a return to school, a renewed spirit, and a big promise for the future. How one girl's painful recovery led to a moment her entire school won't forget. Thank you for staying with us here on Featured. I'm Symphony Privet, and we are continuing to bring you uplifting stories across the country. An 11-year-old girl in Texas survived a house fire, but that horrible incident led her to having one of her best days. And now it's getting even better. Sean Giggy shows us how.
The 4th graders at Goodman Elementary in Arlington never saw it coming. Their reason for celebration came from desperation. Back in March, Arlington firefighters were called to a fire at this home where a little girl was trapped inside. 11-year-old Delilah Salinas spent more than a month in the hospital getting treatment for 2nd and 3rd degree burns to her arms and face.
Thank you.
When she got out, firefighters gave Delilah a ride to school, her first day back since the fire.
Were you excited to come back to school today?
No, not at all.
Where would you prefer that they would have dropped you off?
McDonald's.
Okay.
Firefighters didn't need to take her to McDonald's because after our story first aired, McDonald's came to her.
Well, we've got lots of surprises for you today.
Anthony Grissett owns a number of McDonald's franchises, and when he saw Delilah's story, he delivered.
I'm so excited.
Joined by firefighters, Anthony brought lunch for the entire class, which made him quite popular until someone more popular walked in. Most importantly, Anthony was able to provide encouragement.
Life has a way to turn tragedy into opportunity.
And for Delilah, this was that opportunity.
We would love to pay for you to go to college.
For real?
She really couldn't believe it.
I have never had that happen before to me at all.
Delilah says the offer has made her more eager to come to school. It could cost Anthony and McDonald's thousands, and yet he says it's worth every penny.
It provides joy to satisfy people, and that is my purpose.
Caring for others. It's how you change the world, whether you're serving billions or just one.
We're loving it.
In Arlington, I'm Sean Giggy.
That is wonderful. I love that happy ending, and hopefully they can get an update whenever she does go to college to see what she's up to. Alrighty, moving on to our next story here. Speaking of college, one of the most beloved college employees in Virginia is preparing for a major life milestone right now. She spent decades making a positive impact on thousands of lives across generations. Sean Martinelli shares her story.
At Randolph-Macon College, every week ends with Fried Chicken Friday, served today with a side of Barclay.
Oh my Lord, they're my girls! Yay! Hot dog, I'm excited. My name is Barclay, like a bar of clay.
Barclay is a fixture here on campus.
I love football. I've been here since 1985. Oh, cute. As my mama would say, she is a catbird.
That's really how she is every single day.
She's store manager and honorary grandmother.
Now, guess who this is? Mel's sister, members of our show choir. I just call them my grandchildren.
In 1992, students showed up for Barclay after the unexpected passing of her son Tad. She's shown up ever since for them. When the dining hall wouldn't do, she invited them home for meals. When they were short on cash, she helped with books.
Jeremiah, I'm proud of you.
Most importantly, when they needed love,
Love you too.
Barclay
Okay.
loved.
Get in there, sister. Thank you for coming.
But after 41 years of impact,
What's your last day? The 29th of May.
bringing with it a word Barclay long vowed to never say, retirement.
Oh my God. Good Lord. I'm so excited. I think they're in Costa Rica. Where do you live? Oh my gosh. Mwah.
Which brings us to this lunch. More than 50 Phi Mu sorority sisters gathered from across the country to honor their former advisor.
I love my croissant. That was Dana's. Look.
One last lunch
Look at this.
with an employee who left a lasting mark.
We could be there for her the way she shows up for us.
Barclay has just touched so many lives.
She's done so much for others.
When they planned this day, I just thought there'd be a few over here and we'd eat, but I had no idea it was like 52 or 53 girls.
That's Barclay's husband, Rob.
She loves this place. And for 41 years, she's loved this place.
Today, Barclay got that love back.
As special as she made me feel over the years, I knew I was one of many. And I think that's one of the best gifts, Barclay, that you gave each of us, was the gift of loving us for who we were and making us feel like we were the only one who mattered when we walked through that door.
In this Forever Campus Grandmother's honor, the school will start Barclay's Finish Line Fund.
We've already raised $11,000 towards the $25,000.
It will give assistance to future students facing unexpected financial struggles.
And this fund will do in perpetuity exactly what Barclay and Rob have been doing. I'm getting emotional, it's so sweet. What you all have been doing for years quietly within our community.
Long after Barclay leaves, it will ensure her legacy stays.
That is, I couldn't have asked for anything that means more to me than that.
Nothing more needed for this grateful
You knew us, you saw us, and you remembered us.
grandma.
Barclay on three. 1, 2, 3. Barclay!
In Ashland, Virginia.
Oh, yay, y'all like love that.
Sean Martinelli.
A boxing academy in Connecticut is creating more than just fighters. It's where discipline is learned, confidence is built, and generations have found their footing both inside and outside the ring. Kay Pattyfoot introduces us to the man who made it all possible.
Johnny Callis is trying to instill more than just the fundamentals of the sports in his athletes. He's also showing them how a jab, uppercut, and hook can teach them skills for life. He's building something that lasts longer than belts. Every punch thrown here carries a lesson, and every round fought means something outside the ring.
The greatest thing in the world is to see a kid become successful, graduate high school, move into college or some other form of secondary education, be a trade school, become a fireman, a police officer. Those are our proudest moments.
But every lesson and drop of sweat leads back to the same place, the ring.
In my amateur years at CCSU, I won a national championship in 1985. I've been named a 3-time All-American. I participated on USA NCBA boxing teams that went to Russia, Czechoslovakia, Brunei, Southeast Asia.
Coach Johnny Callis doesn't box anymore, but he never gave up the gloves. Instead, he gives them out. He's reffed and coached for more than 30 years. He's also a mentor to hundreds of athletes at the Charter Oak Boxing Academy, or COBA.
It's everything. I love doing this. I consider myself the luckiest man in the world. When somebody new comes here, it's funny because I find myself just giving it 150%. And, laying everything out to them, what boxing's all about.
He says at his gym, it's more than boxing.
COBA is kind of, I guess you could say, my canvas. I don't want to be egotistical, but my canvas that very much reflects my love of boxing, my boxing career, my love for all people and especially inner city kids, and also my social work career.
For many around the gym, he's known as
Coach Johnny Callis. Coach Johnny Callis. Coach Callis.
He's been able to take collegiate students and Hartford community members and not only that, but just the youth in general, and just create such a beautiful dynamic and such beautiful relationships. It's truly incredible what he has built here.
Even when I didn't think I could do it in this sport, he's pushed me to do a lot better in this sport.
I owe a lot of my personal development to his teaching style and him pushing me to be better and better every single day.
But for Dion Callis, Coach also goes by Dad.
He's just my dad, but to a lot of people, he's like kind of a local legend and somebody who's like a father figure in the Hartford community and around Connecticut as well and beyond.
Johnny Callis says all of his 3 kids have either boxed or continue to help with the gym. He says his wife is his #1 supporter and his biggest cheerleader throughout the years.
We've been together for 47 years, and that's my greatest accomplishment and my greatest blessing.
That was Kate Pattyfoot reporting from Connecticut. Thousands of people achieved the personal goals of finishing the Indiana University Health Mini Marathon, and that includes this little one you see here, a kid at Riley Hospital for Children who was battling leukemia. And as Ginny Runovich reports, he ran 13.1 miles in an unexpected place.
A race course.
Let's go, Ty! Kick, baby, kick! Go, 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 Tyler! Go!
Is the sweet spot for teenager Tyler Nichols. Cross country, track, the mini marathon, he's run them all.
You got it! Go, Tyler, go!
Speed is his thing, which is why Tyler's body suddenly slowing down last summer felt so wrong. His whole family got a gut punch when doctors referred him to Riley for a tough diagnosis.
They ran blood tests and everything, and long story short, I had leukemia.
But this 8th grader is positive and prayerful even through chemo. Treatment is a marathon, not a sprint, and he's up for the challenge.
Once I'm set on something, I'm not going to stop until it's over.
So no surprise when Tyler couldn't run this year's Indy Mini because of his diagnosis. He found a detour.
And then his brother was like, Tyler, it'll be the week of the mini. You should just do a mini marathon. And Tyler said, okay.
In Riley's oncology unit, he walked the whole thing.
Just going in circles for 210 laps.
13.1 miles.
It's just seeing the same 4 walls every time, every lap.
Over 2 days.
When we'd periodically pop in his room, he had his tennis shoes on, he was ready to go.
A half marathon complete in hospital hallways.
I pushed his little IV pole for him. I swear it was on 2 wheels going around each corner, and he planned it out, and we tallied it on a dry erase on the door to keep track of everything, and he did it. I wasn't surprised at all.
No kissing the bricks at the Speedway or big crowds of spectators. But the finish line here had even bigger meaning.
My doctors were there to cheer me on, and it was just more of like a mental battle almost, just trying to get it done.
That's just Tyler. I'm not surprised.
Movement can help heal, and Tyler's race inspired other Riley kids to walk the halls too. It also got the attention of the 500 Festival.
Did I hear you did a half marathon?
Which just surprised him with a medal, swag, all the stuff he didn't get on the regular course. And this kid's not done. Tyler plans to run the mini marathon in person next year. And when he rings the bell at Riley after leukemia, he's running home, literally.
It's 14 miles exactly.
Keep up the good fight. You got this, dude. You're inspiring a lot of people, all right?
From the hospital to his house, cancer-free. In Indianapolis, Jenny Runovich.
Alrighty, still ahead this morning. Graduation 6 decades in the making. The challenge from his grandson that sent this Vietnam veteran back to college. A heartbreaking goodbye at a Texas fire station is now turning into a new beginning. A homeless veteran left his dog with firefighters, hoping someone could give him a better life. But once firefighters heard his story, they wanted to help more than just the pup. Here's Kevin Reese.
The handwritten note was heartbreaking. A man, homeless, desperate to find a new home for his baby. It's all good. His baby, Jake, the pit bull. He left with that note tied to the Fire Station 8 flagpole, hoping a safe place like this would offer a better life and take Jake in. Fort Worth firefighters did, but then the fire department Hope team wanted to find the man who wrote that letter.
Tom was blown away by the amount of help he was getting.
His name is Tom Miner. He's 65, a military veteran living on Social Security. They found him in his homeless camp nearby, and 3 days later,
I'm still sort of in shock.
Clean-shaven and with a fresh start, in a free RV in Lake Worth.
Come on in.
To call his own.
That's my queen-size bed that I slept on last night.
What was it like?
Oh,
to sleep in a bed for a change?
like sleeping in heaven on a cloud.
Bobby Krutzinger from Operation Texas Strong, among the volunteers who helped make this happen.
Because I want him to feel that he is loved and wanted. Because when you're not loved and wanted, everything falls apart.
Tom's goal is to get the rest of his life pieced back together enough to bring Jake to this new home too.
I knew that he was going to be took care of, that I didn't have to worry about him. And I know Jake. You can't not love Jake. Jake is love. Long live Jake.
And today, a formerly homeless veteran soaking in that love.
I love y'all.
All started by that heartfelt handwritten letter and the two lives it looks like it saved.
I love you. With all my body, with all my mind, with all my soul, and with all my passion to help give back what I've been given to.
In Lake Worth, I'm Kevin Reese.
Most college graduates spend about 4 years working toward their diploma. Well, Charlie Whaley spent more than 6 decades. At 81 years old, the Vietnam veteran walked across the stage to earn his college degree 63 years after leaving the classroom behind. Here's Caitlin Ross.
Charlie Whaley is the kind of history lesson you can't find in a textbook.
An 18-year-old kid that's studying U.S. history 50, 60 years ago that they're considering way ancient history, and my father was there.
At 80 years old, his classmates were just as fascinated by his life story as he was learning alongside them.
I said, well, you older than my grandfather. I said, well, hey, your grandfather can learn just like me if he wants to.
His return to school came more than 60 years after he last sat in a classroom.
And when I was in school, the word computer was not even in existence.
Still, assignment by assignment and class by class, Charlie built a future he once thought had passed him by.
Maintain a 3.55 and above. And yeah, I'm proud of that.
And when they finally called his name, decades of hard work, sacrifice, and perseverance all came down to one moment.
Charlie Whaley.
Walking across that stage wasn't just about earning a degree. For Charlie, it was about showing his grandson what perseverance looks like.
Do your best, and we will be proud of you, son.
Wonderful. That was Caitlin Ross reporting from Atlanta. Charlie earned his degree in criminal justice, he says, after getting into the routine of school, opening his computer every day and diving into the assignments. He loved being a student so much. His family would not be surprised if this is not the end of his education journey. I love that for him. All right, moving on to our next story here. One artist in Connecticut is in the midst of a pet project, which is a pretty good way to describe his latest piece of work. A new mural is celebrating dogs from around the area, and it's also meant to shed light on the importance of dog adoption. Jim Altman has more.
It's not just the writing on the wall in West Hartford, it is the colors and the collection of canines. A simple painted paw and the swirl from a spray can reveal something bigger. The reds, the blues, the goldens. All of this is a canine community. Artist Corey Payne has the eye.
So it looks crazy, but
in the end it comes together and tightens up.
His subjects have the noses.
Yeah, definitely, all for the dogs.
And at Gastro Park in West Hartford, suddenly barks and bites unite. Known for his works all across the area, Corey's newest mural is meant to celebrate longtime customers here.
Having a place like this to be able to bring your dog is cool.
And their canine companions.
I mean, I think for me, like, I'm a huge dog lover. It's a big thing to have that dog be honored in this kind of way. So I feel like just knowing that where a dog is in your heart, like, it's cool to just put that on the wall for other people.
Gastro Park owner Tate Norden commissioned the canine collab in part to raise awareness for dog rescue.
I mean, dogs bring people together, food brings people together. There's a lot of people that would not have met each other if not for Gastro Park and their love of dogs. So far, we've gotten 6 dogs adopted that we know of, and hopefully more will be finding their forever homes.
A story high, 50 feet long, and 40 dogs strong. It is perhaps this painter's favorite pet project yet.
I think whether you have a dog or not, this just brings happiness and brings joy, puts you in a good space. And like, this is the perfect place to do that. It comes out in my work and showing like where my heart is, and this is everything I love.
In West Hartford, Connecticut, Jim Altman for Featured.
Alrighty, coming up, a simple note from a little girl in Ohio turned into an unexpected lesson and kindness that is reaching far beyond her neighborhood. How it all started with a paper airplane and a neighbor she never met. Welcome back. A little girl in Ohio sent her neighbor a special request in a unique way, and it turned into a lesson of kindness no one saw coming. Here's Lindsay Buckingham.
8-year-old Madeline Glenn heard music coming from next door from a neighbor she'd never met.
Because I didn't want to just walk into his backyard. So I asked my mom if she can help me make a paper airplane. I'm not good at throwing paper airplanes, so she had to throw it for me.
On the other side of the fence was 26-year-old musician Ethan Hayes, who just moved in last September.
Hey, man. My daughter threw a paper plane over.
He answered Madeline's request.
And I wanted to know if you can play Taylor Swift. I got it.
Instantly. Her mom, Natalie Hulick, posted the sweet interaction to TikTok.
I just thought it was the cutest thing, and I love how she wrote out the note.
But no one expected what happened next.
And my mom showed me the TikTok, how many views and likes it got. And then I got so shocked.
Especially Ethan.
I didn't know she was recording. I didn't hear him singing along. 2.7 million is crazy. I can't really believe that, but I'd do it for 200 views. I'd do it for them.
Yet millions of people felt something from a man who didn't even know anyone else was watching. Ethan says the moment is so much bigger than just one song.
What are we if we don't have each other? Community, I think, is one of the most important things. And again, like you see on the internet, there's all this bad stuff, but especially now, as things get hard, there's always nice to have somebody to lean on. And
what Natalie captured has changed things for Ethan, too. He's gained thousands of new followers since the video posted.
So the amount of attention he's gained throughout this has been so rewarding. And I'm so excited for him.
I mean, it's in everything we do. The best thing people do is love in music.
Russ Hulick says the lesson is simple, but more important than ever.
Think about the little things, and the little things make a big difference.
Something Madeline tries to live by every day.
By smiling at people.
And having the courage to reach out to someone else, because you never know what could be on the other side of the fence.
It costs nothing to be kind. I've always said, what's your dream job? I don't care what my job is. I want to be a good friend. I want to be a good person.
Thank God he's our neighbor.
Lindsay Buckingham.
How sweet it is to love someone.
That was awesome. That's it for this episode of Featured. Until next time, make it a great one.